Welcome back to Homestead Kickoff Week. We have a little surprise class for you this afternoon. So give me 1 second to set up everything here and we're going to jump right in. Today we are going to be making some dry mixes for pantry staples. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to pin a little comment here for us to guide us as we go. And then I'm about to introduce you guys to somebody that you are going to love. Here we go. All right. So I am bringing in my best friend, my real life, off the internet bestie. We have been best friends for 10 years. She has just started an Instagram page where she is sharing all of her supermom powers, and she is teaching all about cooking and recipes, and it is so good. You guys are gonna want to follow her. And so I was like, will you come meet my people today? And here she comes. Let me find her. Welcome. Drop some waves. Tell us where you're watching from. And we are about to dive into some recipes together and do some cooking. Hey!
Hey,
How are
you?
you today?
It's a Monday, but it's good.
I hear you.
Already texted you this morning. You know, the stove leaking, the ants in the kitchen. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
Yep. Well, our power has been flickering. We're having bad storms here in North Carolina, as you are there.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren lives near you guys, so
Yes.
We're in the thick of bad weather here. Hopefully the live stream will hold out for this class.
Hopefully so. Hang in there, Wi-Fi. We can do this.
Yes. So before we jump into the recipes and stuff, I would love for you to just introduce yourself. Because you're brand new with your page on here, and I love what you're sharing, and I feel like the world needs to know about it.
Okay. I think you already mentioned that we've been best friends for 1,000 years. Not really, just 10 years. But I'm Lauren, and I'm originally from Texas, but I'm a transplant to North Carolina, and we met through a homeschool group. I've got 5 kids who are now ages 16 down to 6. And Amber said, Lauren, you really need to go on Instagram and start sharing all the stuff, about food with people and saving money on groceries. I think sometimes in my mind, I'm like, this is stuff that everybody knows. Like, everybody knows how to do this. And I've been on here since the end of January, and I'm coming to find out she was right. Not everybody knows this stuff. So my goal is to help you slash your grocery budget and take the chaos out of cooking for your family and find joy to eating dinner together as a family and not feel the stress in the kitchen. Let's simplify these things and make it easy. So I saw this book that we're going to talk about today that's in the bundle, and I was like, this is good. Like, this is really good. So this would be fun for us to have a kitchen chat and just make some fun stuff.
Yes. So the book that we are going to be cooking out of today, you guys, it's called the Dry Mix Recipe Book. And let's see if I've got a picture of it. Well, I have a picture of the recipes, but I don't have a picture of the book. But this book is written by Abby over at the Flake Homestead, and the whole book is recipes for things like brownie mix, pancake mix, muffin mix, cornbread mix. And so all of those pre-made things that tend to run up our grocery bills are in this book, and you can make them yourself at home, and it's cheaper to make them yourself. Mm-hmm. And as I went through, I was like, this is surprisingly really simple. Why have I not done this before?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think for us, so I know all of your followers know that you can't do gluten. I can't do gluten. I tolerate a lot of things in life. Gluten is not one of them.
Yeah.
All my kids are fine with gluten, but I am not. So there are certain things that I just don't use anymore because of the gluten. And so I just won't even make it for my family because it's just kind of a hassle. And one of the things that I'm planning to make today, I have abandoned so many recipes because it calls for this one ingredient. And I'm like, well, I can't make that anymore. So I'm just not going to do it. So I'm really excited because I'm going to get some new recipes going for my family to try. So
yay.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's going to be good stuff. Okay. So do you want to make one first?
Sure. Yeah.
Tell me, I think you should jump right into that one that you're talking about. Okay. Because I also have never seen this recipe gluten-free, and I'm very excited for this one too. So let's do that one first.
So it's the dry onion soup mix. And growing up, I know people use it as like a dip, and she actually gives the instructions so you can use it as a dip, but I've never eaten it that way. It's always been like, you know how you use like a packet of ranch mix or a dry Italian or something like that, which she's got recipes for those too in the book. And they're so expensive, so it's nice that it's cheaper. But yeah, I'll see recipes for that. I've literally never used it as a dip, but I'm excited. I'm so excited about this. Okay, so the first thing, you've got to use a lot of dry onion flakes in these. Okay, this takes me back to my grandmother, because my grandmother, when she got old, older, probably once she hit like 70, she didn't want to chop an onion anymore. So she was always using these. So I smell these and I'm like, oh, it just takes me right back. I just love it.
Oh,
I know you like that too.
love
Okay. Are we giving measurement? Are we telling measurements?
Yeah, let's just
Okay.
go ahead and give them measurements. But guys, if you want like the paper copies of the recipes, they come like this. I'll show
Yeah.
you.
It's super, she's made it really easy to read. I love
Yeah,
that.
and it tells you how to make the mix and then the recipe to use the mix. So what I'm going to do is like write both of those down on a little index card, and the
Okay.
ones I'm making, I'm going to stick on my mason jar. So the directions will all be there.
Oh, see, that's smart.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just put in a cup of those dried onion flakes, minced onions. They're also called minced onions. 2 tablespoons of parsley flakes. Teaspoon of onion powder. I love onion powder too. I feel like I always smell like garlic powder and onion powder.
I always use. I even made my own onion powder for the first time this last year. My friend,
Ooh, how'd that go?
it was
it good?
so good, and it's like it's a little more pungent than
Oh.
what you get in the store too, so you can use less.
Okay, so that was a teaspoon of onion powder, teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of celery salt. And a lot of these things in here, I think I only had to buy, I'm getting ready to use smoked paprika. I think that's the only thing that I didn't have. So it wasn't like, oh, I've got to go and buy a bunch of special things to be able to make these recipes, because I don't like doing that. If I look at a recipe, it's got 15 ingredients, I'm like, nope, I'm not making that. I don't have time for that.
I loved it. I started flipping through, and I was like, I could probably make 15 or 20 of these without even going to the store. Like this
Yeah,
is
for sure. For sure. Teaspoon of smoked paprika. I'm not measuring my black pepper. It's a grinder, and I'm just going to do this number until I think of a teaspoon, and I'm just going to call it good.
Measuring's way overrated.
Measuring's overrated. I think I was telling you the other day, my toxic trait is I don't like washing measuring spoons because my dishwasher gets too hot and so it melts them. And so I would rather do the math in my head and double and triple things than have to wash a measuring spoon.
Yeah.
I know that's lazy. It's lazy. All right, and about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then you're supposed to blend it up in the food processor, which is going to end up being kind of loud. So I don't know if you want me to blend it or not.
Let's see what it looks like before you blend it. I'm curious. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like it, like the onion soup.
Does. It does. It smells really good. I'm excited about it.
I used to make like I think it was like a Mississippi pot roast recipe that called for that. And I haven't made it since we've been gluten-free, so I can bring it back with this.
So my food processor's going to be loud, so okay. Hang with me.
We're ready.
It would help if I plugged it in. But hey, at least it wasn't the crock pot, right? That's the worst when you get ready to eat your dinner and realize you didn't plug the crock pot in. I'm waiting for my boys to come running. Because they like to push the button and scream, ouch, it hurts, don't chop us. Life with boys. Oh, that's good.
Nice.
Powdery.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah.
For those asking, she is making the dry onion soup mix out of the Flake Homestead dry mix recipe book that's in the library. So when you comment library, you can go download that book.
Yes. And then I'm just going to store it in a quart size mason jar. I could get a funnel out, but I'm just going to wing this. I'm just going to wing it. And then I'm just going to put my lid on there. And it'll be good.
Nice.
So did you pay attention to the very last page of the book? I think that was my favorite page in the entire book was the last page. Did you look
I
at
don't
it?
remember. What was it?
So Abby didn't gatekeep on us. She told us how to turn any dry mix recipe we have, or anything that we're using as a dry mix, how to make the recipe ourselves. And I think that's awesome. So it doesn't matter what it is, she teaches you how to do it yourself. So I really love that. That was my favorite page. So there's my onion soup mix. So now I'm going to get to pull out a bunch of new recipes.
Yay! Gluten-free onion soup mix. That's amazing. Awesome. All right, you want to do pancake and waffle mix next?
Yes.
All right.
So I'm assuming you're doing this gluten-free.
Yes, I am. I'm going to reposition so you guys can see what I'm working with here. Okay, hold on. Okay. Maybe you can see there.
Yeah.
See me?
Yep.
Okay. So for pancake and waffle mix, it starts with 6 cups of all-purpose flour. So my very favorite gluten-free flour is this one, the King Arthur gluten-free bread flour. Now, you can also do this one, the measure for measure. It works fine too, especially for things like pancakes. But for like if I'm gonna bake like cakes or a pie or a loaf of bread, I always go with the bread flour. It's worth the extra $1. You get a better finished product. So that's what I'm gonna use for this. And we're gonna do 6 cups of gluten-free flour. Of course, you could use any all-purpose flour for this. There's 1. And I am not fussy about measuring flour. Like, I know some people put it on a scale and they, measure the grams. I just don't.
Nobody has time for that.
No. Like, maybe if I was in, like, a French culinary school and had that kind of life, I would have time to measure. But no. All right, let me open another bag. So we got 3 cups so far. And the cool thing with this recipe is she says you can turn this into pancakes or waffles or mini muffins. She has a thing where you can bake these in a mini muffin tray for 10 to 12 minutes. So that could be fun too.
That's something like little pancake bites. Have you ever seen those little pancake bites?
Yes, that's perfect. All right, there's 5 and 6. Okay. Then it calls for some sugar. Now, if you don't like using sugar, you could totally switch this out and you could add honey later when you're mixing this up. You could just leave it out. But I don't trust myself to remember to add it later, so I'm going to add the sugar. Okay.
I can just picture your kids' faces like, wow, these are great, Mom.
Like, what in the world is happening? So we're going to do 6 tablespoons of sugar. You can use, whatever you like. I think this is coconut sugar, actually. And there's 6 tablespoons. Then it calls for 4 tablespoons of baking powder. And here's a little tip. If you do a lot of baking, like I bake all of our breads, you can buy these things like in bulk and just store them in mason jars, and it's cheaper than buying all the little containers of baking powder. So we're going to do 4 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it says 4 to 5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. And we're just going to measure this one with our heart. How about that?
Yes. Do it till it looks right.
Exactly. Oh, it smells good. I love the smell of cinnamon. And then 2 teaspoons of salt. And I'm also going to be eyeballing it using my little grinder. We're a pink salt family. That's all we use. That looks like 1. Let's do 1 more. 2 teaspoons. And then we're just going to give this a mix. My kiddos were home, they would be appearing from the smell of the cinnamon.
I'm going to ask what you're doing. She is making a pancake and waffle mix, a dry mix that she can keep in her pantry.
Yes. Okay, this looks good, y'all.
It does look good. I think somebody else asked how long these can be stored, and Abby actually talks about that in the book. She's saying how the government requires us to put regulations as far as like best by dates and things like that. She said if stored properly, that should be 1 to 2 years. But in my house, that wouldn't even come close to lasting a year.
Yeah, this will probably last like 2 Saturdays.
Yes.
I need my funnel, but it's in the dishwasher, so we're just improvising here.
Yes.
So if you want to start on your next recipe while I measure this in,
okay.
You could.
Okay. So I mentioned that I've got 5 kids. My oldest is, she's just turned 16. And many times she will come to me and she'll say, Mom, you know what sounds so good right now? And I'll say, what? And I say what, but I know exactly what she's going to say. Brownies. We definitely have some chocoholics in this house. So that's what I'm going to do next is the brownie mix. And one of my people is screaming. That was a happy scream. It was just a silly scream. So this calls for 2 cups of granulated sugar. I'm excited about this one.
Mm-hmm. I spend a lot of money on brownie mixes. Like that's something I buy all the time that's gluten free. And a gluten free brownie mix here,
it's expensive.
Yeah, they're like $7 or $8 a box. It's crazy.
So I was looking at the measurements for this. This was 2 cups of sugar. I was looking at the measurements and thinking, okay, brownie mix, if you're buying a regular brownie mix, it's really not that expensive. It's under $2 a box, but this makes quite a bit. So you can get several batches of brownies out of this.
Yeah.
It calls for a cup of all-purpose flour, and I'm going to use regular all-purpose flour for the simplicity of it today. So 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. It smells so good, but we know that's the trick. Have your kids ever done that? Gone to get into the cocoa because they think it's chocolate and get met with the
not so good when they taste it.
It's like the time I came downstairs in our old house and I found flour handprints everywhere from where my little boys thought that they were getting into the sugar, but they were actually getting into the flour.
Oh, no.
And they realized that it was not. And then they had we had a big mess and a life lesson, but it was fun. Funny memory now. At the time, I was like super annoyed, but now I'm like, okay, that was cute and funny. Half a teaspoon of salt. That's it. That's literally 4 ingredients. And then she gives the instructions for what to add to it when you're ready to mix it up. And there's not very many ingredients. I don't have that part in me to tell you exactly what all, but I remember it's some eggs and just your wet ingredients that you would add later. But this is it. You're literally just stirring it up. And then I'm going to store this. I have a big half-gallon jar that I'm going to pour that into. And that's how I will store it.
The pancake and waffle mix made a full half-gallon.
Wow.
Like I had to cram it to get it all in there. So yeah, that would last a while.
Yeah, that will.
And I'm gonna guess that like the cost for these ingredients would have been less than if I had like bought a box of gluten-free Bisquick or something. For sure.
The gluten-free Bisquick, I want to say I went and looked the other day, and it was a little tiny box, and I want to say it was like $6 and something.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that 1 box will be enough for like 1 meal of pancakes for us. Like, not much in there.
Right. Okay, so what are you making next? I'm done with my brownie mix. I'm going to stick it in the jar.
Okay. So the next one we're going to do is the universal muffin mix.
Ooh.
And this one, it says, so you're going to mix your dry stuff together, and then it has mix-in ideas. And I love this. I'm going to read you her ideas for things you can mix in. She says to add in half a cup of blueberries plus 1 tablespoon of lemon zest. Or you could do a 1/4 cup of green chilies or jalapenos plus half a cup of cheddar cheese. That would probably be good.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it says this makes a Red Lobster Cheddar Bay Biscuit copycat. So that would be good. Chocolate chips, other fruits and nuts. So let's mix this one. I have a feeling this one is going to be more than will even fit in my half-gallon container. So I may have to go get a gallon jar at the end to put this in. But we're going to just go with it as it's written. I would rather have a lot than not enough.
I was going to say you could do the math and just do half the recipe, but
Yeah, we could do that. I'm going to just go for it. I've got an empty gallon jar in the back, so I'm just going to go for it. So it starts with 8 cups of all-purpose flour. And so again, I'm going to use my gluten-free flour for this. Half. And I have to open another bag. I wish the gluten-free flours would come in bigger bulk.
yeah.
If they would make like a 5-pound bag of this at a time, that would be amazing.
Yes. Excuse me.
And a half. Okay, there's 8 cups of flour, and then it calls for 1 cup of sugar. So again, if you wanted to use honey, leave this out and add the honey when you mix your muffins up. But yeah, 1 cup of sugar. And then 1/3 of a cup of baking powder. And I'm totally going to do what you do, Lauren. I'm not getting a different measuring cup. I'm going to eyeball this. We're going to do about 1/3 of a cup here. I'm shedding out of here. Okay. Here we go. 1/3 of a cup of baking powder. And then the last ingredient is salt. So simple. And it calls for 1 teaspoon of salt instead of 2. This one's 1. There we go. Give it a little more.
That thing looks fun.
It is. My mother-in-law gave me that for Christmas. I love that thing.
I just use my little Woodstock.
Yeah, those are nice too.
My little.
Aww.
My favorite peanut butter.
I thought you said wooden style, like you have a wooden grinder. Woodstock's even better.
Yeah. I have a hard time giving up my Woodstock for a grinding one.
Yeah.
I probably also go through a lot more salt because I have a feeling certain people in my house would go crazy with the salt.
Yes. I'm one of those. I love salt. Like I crave salt over sugar. Like I could just lick a salt block. Like I love salt.
I don't know if I do that, but yes, I get it.
All right. So here is our universal muffin mix.
Well, it looks good.
And it definitely is not going to fit in this jar. So I think what I might do is actually set this aside, and later this afternoon, I think I'm going to bake some muffins for my kids with part of it, and then I'll put the rest in the jar.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
So all of these recipes are available in this dry mix recipe book, which we both love. And we are both going to be making more of the mixes.
Yes.
But I mean, just in this, it's been like 25 minutes, and we've mixed up 4 different things that are going to save our families money and are going to make cooking way more convenient because stuff's pre-mixed. So 10 out of 10 for me is my review of that dry mix recipe book.
Didn't have to buy anything for it.
Yeah, we didn't
have the stuff for it, so it wasn't like we needed special things. So
I love it. I definitely think this is one of my absolute favorite books in the bundle this time. And so if you haven't looked at the bundle, guys, you can comment library and I'll send you a link to look at it. But essentially you get 78 different books and courses for just $50. But the only catch is you got to get it before Wednesday at midnight because that's when it ends. So, and then today, if you grab it, there's a free gift that you're going to get with it. And you'll see about that in the message that I send you. But yeah, make some dry mixes, y'all. This is fun. And do it with your bestie. That makes it even more fun.
It's more fun. Yeah.
So, okay, before we go, I would love for you, I know I'm going to put you on the spot with this, but you can handle it.
Okay. I'm ready.
What would be, just off the top of your head, what would be like your top 3 tips for moms who are overwhelmed with cooking meal planning, groceries are expensive, like they're just over the whole thing. Like, what would you say to those moms?
Number one, get off Pinterest.
Yes.
Um, think about what your family will actually eat. Don't try to make it too complicated. If your family really likes spaghetti, then get noodles, get your beef or ground turkey, whatever meat you want to use, and about pasta sauce and call it good. You don't need to go and make some big fancy homemade sauce. And as far as saving money, look at what you already have first and plan your meals around what you already have. Those are probably, is that three? I think that was three.
I love that.
A lot of that on my page. So
I was gonna say, I think one of my favorite things I've seen you share is you talk often about shopping your own pantry. Like, you'll be making your meal plans and you'll be like, so I didn't even have to pay for dinner tonight because I shopped the supplies that I have. And it amazes me. And you have 3 little boys that eat like a frat house. Like, they put it away. So, like, y'all, if you need help with saving money on groceries, Lauren's your girl. Go give her a follow. She helps me constantly. I'm all the time asking her, what are you making for dinner tonight? I need some ideas.
Yep.
So go give her a follow, grab that library, y'all, and make you some dry mixes today. And we would love to hear back from you. Send us a DM and tell us which mixes you made. How did they turn out? Are there ones that we need to go find and make immediately that you loved?
Yes.
We love hearing from you. All right.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for hanging out. It's good to talk with you and bring our people. And I feel like we're on all day like this. But
this was like, I keep having to go, oh yeah, I need to look and see if anybody's asking a question.
I know. This is what we do all day anyway. So all right, friends. Well, thanks for being part of this with us. And I'll repost the replay if you missed the beginning of it, and you can get back to it. So all right.
All right.
Have a good day, you guys.
Bye, friends.